Ford is no longer able to sell their new cars. That is why Ford just started the big sale with a really low price tag. They are dishing out incentives and sweet policies for dealerships because their lots are packed with new Ford models. This might seem good to you, but it is not. Why? Well, that is a deep question because unless you look deeper, you simply won't notice all of this. You see, according to numbers and statistics, Ford rocked the sales charts with a jaw-dropping 7.1% spike in 2023, absolutely killing it in the truck sector, with sales soaring over the million mark, a stellar 13% climb. Yet, despite this impressive growth, Ford's slice of the market pie shrank to 13% by the year's end. But the worst is in the electric vehicle sector. Ford hit some major bumps, with eye-opening reports of losing a whopping $36,000 on each EV sold in the third quarter of 2023, as noted by the Autopian. Ford chalked up these heavy losses to heavy investments in cutting-edge EV technology and the tricky twists and turns of the market landscape. With a decline in the thirst for electric rides, Ford's even delaying their electric SUVs and that hotly anticipated electric truck. Remember the F-150 Lightning? Yeah, that one tanked big time. It was just your regular F-150 with an electric twist, hardly groundbreaking stuff. And now they're pushing back their electric SUV production too, citing some vague excuse about waiting for battery tech to catch up. Translation? They're gonna jump on the electric bandwagon when it only suits them. But that's not all. It looks like Ford's having a bit more trouble shaking off their 2023 regular F-150s, not even the electric models, but the good old regular ones. Now here is where it gets tricky. You see, that 7.1% spike in sales came from one strategy that Ford is implementing. They've dusted off an old gem of a deal they've got with the dealerships, known as Star Steps. The concept is simple. The more trucks the dealership moves, the more perks they rake in. Think of it like this. Ford's dangling some serious carrots in front of these dealerships for every 2023 F-150 they manage to sell. And if they hit certain targets, well, that carrot just got a whole lot juicier. You bet they'll be hustling these trucks like they're going out of style. And you know what happens when the hustle's on? That's right, things can get a bit, let's say, slippery. So check this out. According to the dealers themselves, these tactics are all about putting numbers first, leaving customers feeling totally dissatisfied. It's like they're just itching to make a sale no matter what, and some people are saying that's pretty shady stuff right there. But the truth is more than that. Let me explain. Now, there is no question that we, the customers, will face the negative impacts of all of this. But it's not just us. Ford will also be seeing the bad end of the stick. But you know who will not? You guessed it, the dealerships. I'm not saying all dealerships will be bad, but you know the ones that couldn't care less about the quality? It's all about the fat commission check. And don't even get me started on those insurance policies for car repairs. I mean, seriously? You buy a used car and then they hit you with this insurance pitch to fix any future mishaps. But here's the kicker. Some of these policies give the guy selling it a whopping 50% commission. Yeah, you heard that right. No wonder they're so eager to shove it down your throat. But guess what? Half the time, those policies won't even cover half of what you need fixing because they've blown it all on commissions. And remember when we told you how much Ford is losing with each EV they sell? That is where Ford's strategy comes around to bite them. While the dealerships are pumping out their cars, Ford is taking a real hit. Just last year alone, they took a whopping $4.7 billion hit trying to make electric dreams a reality. And now, hold on to your hats, folks, because they're projecting an even steeper plunge this year. $5.5 billion down the drain. But hey, you can't just keep flushing money down the commode and expect miracles, right? But it's not just Ford that is experiencing trouble in the EV segment. Even Tesla, the trailblazers themselves, are hitting some speed bumps. They're slashing prices left, right, and center because they're up to their eyeballs in unsold inventory. Take the Model Y for instance. They're shaving a cool $7,500 off the sticker price, no strings attached. And get this, that's not even factoring in any tax credits. No matter how much they slash the price, if those electric rides don't bring value to the table, folks are not going to buy. Sure, dropping the price tag might reel in some curious cats, but let me tell you, while lower prices sound like music to our ears, there's a teensy worry lurking in the shadows. Are these cuts coming at the cost of quality? There's a chance Ford might be trimming corners to shave off these dollars, potentially leading to issues down the road. This is bad for the people who've been wanting to buy a new Ford car. But that's not all. What Ford dropping prices by more than a few grand means is that suddenly everyone can afford it. So imagine splurging on a Mach-E only to find out you could have snagged it at a steal a few weeks later. Those who recently forked out more cash for their electric dream machine might be feeling a bit sour about missing out on the savings. These price slashes are just one chess move in Ford's battle with Tesla and the other rivals. Will the prices keep plummeting, or are we in for a surprise hike? It's like trying to predict the next plot twist in a heist show, a tad unpredictable. These price cuts are like a double-edged sword, gleaming with promise yet packing a few potential potholes. But by now, I think you got the theme. There is more meaning to this. This one is another bomb drop for Ford owners. But if we're being honest, it affects all car owners, so listen up and watch carefully. First things first, let's talk about resale value. It's a roll of the dice, my pals. New Ford cars, especially the EVs, are packed with cutting-edge tech, and predicting their future worth is like predicting the meaning of a weird nightmare. Your old faithful gas guzzler might sip on some gasoline, but at least you can count on its resale value to hold steady. Let's say you get a new sleek car with all the bells and whistles, thinking you're living in the future. Fast forward, and you'll be itching to offload it. Why? Because the trade-in offer is pitiful. But don't just take my word for it, these offers are coming at around 40%. And mind you, these cars were practically fresh off the lot. Now think about what's going to happen to EVs down the road. They'll be as desirable as last week's leftovers. Then there's a whole battery conundrum. Swapping out those powerhouses can burn a 22 grand size hole in your pocket. That's more than a year's worth of groceries for most folks. And don't forget the fancy footwork needed to get it installed. Even a minor fender bender can morph into a financial catastrophe. Nudge the curve a tad too hard, and that precious battery takes a hit. You're looking at another 22 grand vanishing into thin air quicker than a magician's rabbit. So, what's the solution? Well, Ford thinks it's dropping prices, and in all honesty, electric vehicles aren't all doom and gloom. But before you dive headfirst into the pool just because of the tempting price tag, do your homework. There could be sneaky costs lurking in the shadows, ready to drain your wallet. If you can get yourself a good deal that's not touched by dodgy deals and policies, that could work. A little bit of critical thinking can get you a long way. And as for the industry, I think the only solution is to actually giving the people what they truly want, instead of just a box of steel that's good for nothing. Just because it's an EV doesn't mean it'll be appealing, and if it's not, then customers won't buy it. It's simple logic. In my opinion, alternate fuel-powered cars are the future because they give the same benefits as EVs and our trusty gas-guzzling cars. But what do you think? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and see you on the next video.